Marie Antoinette. Her name conjures images of grandeur, opulence, and a dramatic downfall. Yet one phrase stands out as a defining element of her legacy: "Let them eat cake." This quote is frequently cited as evidence of her supposed indifference to the suffering of the French populace. But did Marie Antoinette actually utter these words? And what does this phrase reveal about her life and the tumultuous era she lived through? Join us as we embark on a journey to unravel the truth behind one of history's most notorious quotes and explore the real story of France's last queen. Marie Antoinette, originally named Maria Antonia Josepha Johanna, was born on November 2, 1755, in Vienna, Austria. She was the 15th child of Empress Maria Theresa and Emperor Francis I, and her early years were filled with the grandeur of the Habsburg court. The Habsburg family was one of Europe's most powerful royal houses, and young Maria Antonia was raised amidst their luxury and political influence. From a young age, Maria Antonia was groomed for a life of political significance. Her education was extensive, covering languages, culture, and diplomacy. At the age of 14, she was married to Louis Auguste, who would become King Louis XVI of France. This marriage was not just a union of two individuals, but a carefully crafted political alliance intended to strengthen relations between Austria and France, two of Europe's major powers. Upon her arrival in France, Maria Antonia was renamed Marie Antoinette and entered the elaborate world of the Palace of Versailles. Versailles was more than just a royal residence. It was a symbol of the French monarchy's absolute power and wealth. The palace's opulent architecture, extensive gardens, and elaborate decor were designed to awe visitors and assert the monarchy's dominance. Marie Antoinette's early years in France were challenging. Her marriage to Louis Auguste faced difficulties, including the initial lack of consummation, which was a source of public and political concern. Adapting to the French court's elaborate etiquette and political intricacies proved difficult for the young queen, who was often scrutinized and criticized by both her court and the public. The phrase "let them eat cake" is one of history's most infamous quotes, often attributed to Marie Antoinette. According to legend, when she was told that the French people were suffering due to a lack of bread, she allegedly responded with "let them eat cake," indicating a shocking level of insensitivity. But where did this phrase originate, and did Marie Antoinette actually say it? The origins of this phrase can be traced back to Jean-Jacques Rousseau, a prominent French philosopher and critic of the monarchy. In his autobiography Confessions, published in 1782, Rousseau wrote about a great princess who, upon learning that the people had no bread, supposedly remarked, "Let them eat cake." Despite the vividness of Rousseau's account, he did not explicitly name Marie Antoinette. Historians suggest that Rousseau's great princess likely referred to Marie Antoinette due to the timing and context of his writings. However, Rousseau wrote his autobiography years after the events he described, and his account was influenced by his own critical stance against the monarchy. The phrase, "let them eat cake," became a powerful symbol during the French Revolution. Revolutionary propaganda used it to epitomize Marie Antoinette's alleged disregard for the plight of the French people. This phrase helped to fuel the revolutionary sentiment against the monarchy and contributed to the public's negative perception of the Queen. Despite its widespread association with Marie Antoinette, there is no concrete evidence that she ever uttered this phrase. The myth likely grew out of revolutionary rhetoric and was used to vilify the monarchy. Marie Antoinette's portrayal as a symbol of royal excess was amplified by the political climate of the time. To fully understand why "let them eat cake" became such a potent symbol, we must examine the broader economic and social context of late 18th century France. The country was grappling with severe economic difficulties. Poor harvests in the years leading up to the revolution had led to a dramatic increase in bread prices, a critical staple for the majority of the population. food shortages were widespread, and the rising cost of bread exacerbated the economic hardship faced by many French citizens. This period of economic crisis fueled public frustration and anger. The phrase, "let them eat cake," came to represent the perceived disconnect between the French monarchy and the suffering of the common people. Marie Antoinette's extravagant lifestyle, characterized by lavish clothing, sumptuous parties, and enormous expenditures, stood in stark contrast to the economic struggles faced by ordinary French people. Her spending on fashion and entertainment was often highlighted by critics as evidence of her detachment from the realities faced by the lower classes. The opulence of the French court became a focal point for criticism. Revolutionary leaders and propagandists used this imagery to stoke public resentment against the monarchy. The phrase, "let them eat cake," encapsulated this resentment and was used to symbolize the perceived arrogance and insensitivity of the Queen and the broader royal family. Revolutionary propaganda played a significant role in shaping the public's perception of Marie Antoinette. The French Revolution was a period of intense social and political upheaval, and the revolutionaries used propaganda to galvanize support and justify their actions against the monarchy. Marie Antoinette was often portrayed as the embodiment of royal excess and detachment. Her lavish lifestyle and the perceived extravagance of the French court were used as symbols of the corruption and moral decay of the old regime. The phrase, "let them eat cake," became a powerful tool in this propaganda effort. Revolutionary leaders understood the power of symbols and slogans in mobilizing public opinion. By associating Marie Antoinette with a phrase that epitomized callousness and indifference, they effectively used her as a scapegoat for the broader grievances of the French people. This use of propaganda was not unique to Marie Antoinette. Throughout history, political movements have used similar tactics to vilify their opponents and rally support. The creation and perpetuation of myths and legends are powerful tools in shaping historical narratives and public perception. Understanding the myth of "let them eat cake" requires a closer examination of the real Marie Antoinette and the historical context in which she lived. The Queen was often portrayed as a figure of excess and insensitivity, but this portrayal oversimplifies the complexities of her life and the political challenges she faced. Marie Antoinette's reign was marked by significant political and social challenges. Her efforts to navigate the complex dynamics of the French court, coupled with the broader economic crisis facing the nation, were not without difficulties. The lavish lifestyle attributed to her was also a reflection of the broader culture of the French court, which was characterized by extravagant displays of wealth and power. Historians today recognize that while Marie Antoinette was certainly not without fault, her legacy has been shaped by a combination of myth and reality. The phrase, "let them eat cake," serves as a powerful symbol, but it is also a product of revolutionary propaganda and historical distortion. The story of Marie Antoinette and the infamous quote, "let them eat cake," serves as a compelling example of how historical narratives are constructed and perpetuated. The power of myth and propaganda in shaping public perception cannot be underestimated. Marie Antoinette's life and legacy remind us of the importance of critically examining historical sources and understanding the context in which they were produced. The myths surrounding historical figures often reflect broader societal attitudes and political agendas, and it is crucial to approach these narratives with a critical eye. By exploring the real story behind Marie Antoinette and the origins of "let them eat cake," we gain a deeper understanding of the complexities of history and the ways in which historical figures are remembered and misrepresented. Thanks for diving into Marie Antoinette's real story with us. If you're passionate about peeling back the layers of history and uncovering the truth, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps us going and ensures you don't miss any of our deep dives into the past. Stay curious, Keep questioning and be sure to join us next time as we continue to unravel more historical mysteries. Until then, this is History Challenger, signing off.